Charles Abernathy, the elderly owner of a multi-billion-dollar business empire, gathers all his children for his 75th birthday, but instead of a boring family dinner, they receive unbelievable news. It turns out that someone wants to kill their father, and apparently the assassination attempt will take place before midnight. For reasons he alone understands, Charles sends the servants away, isolates the mansion from the outside world and tells his children that his entire inheritance will go to charity if he doesn't make it through the night, so it's in their best interest to help him survive the night at all costs. Netflix has quite a few hallmarks and traits, but legibility is not among them. You can find plenty of passable and downright cheesy projects in their catalog, especially among their genre feature films. And it's all the more surprising and suspicious that The Inheritance, which Netflix initially gave the go-ahead to make, was eventually abandoned by the studio, and not at early stage of production, but after the movie had already been filmed. Of course, the almost completed project could not stay without a distributor and was eventually released in limited theaters and online streaming through Vertical's efforts, but Netflix's refusal is a very troubling sign. The script for The Inheritance, which was originally titled The Last Will and Testament of Charles Abernathy, made into the 2018 Blood List, which includes the best unproduced horror scripts. The screenplay for last year's horror flick Cobweb, incidentally, was in the same list that same year. However, over the years since his writing, a lot of things have changed, and now The Inheritance looks like a pale ripoff from the series The Fall of the House of Usher and full-length horror Abigail. With the former, it is related in the story of a rich businessman, whose sins had to be solved by his children. With the latter, it is general concept: a group of not-so-good people should spend the night in a sealed mansion with some powerful evil. Apparently, Netflix, known for its love of the liberal agenda, tried to mold this project for itself, because in the center of the plot here is a black girl, the wife of one of the sons of Charles Abernathy. She knows history, literature, and in general, is much smarter than all the offspring of the businessman combined. In the end, The Inheritance again turns out to be a movie with a motto that all the evil in this world comes from rich white cisgender men, who are like snakes: no matter how well you treat them, they will still bite. There are other questions to the script of The Inheritance. If in the same Abigail plot outline seemed quite plausible, here there are a lot of oddities and illogical things. In particular, it is unclear why the characters, having learned about the conditions of receiving the inheritance and the threat of murder, do not lock themselves together in one room, but begin to separate and look for something. Moreover, nothing in their behavior does not change even when the first death occurs. Why they don't push and find out everything he knows from their father when he starts hinting that he signed some pact with someone a long time ago, isn't very clear either. Unfortunately, this is one of those scripts that feels artificial and contrived in every page. Purely visually, there is nothing outstanding in the movie, and the same can be said in terms of genre direction. We first heard the name of Argentinian director Alejandro Brugues back in the early 10s, when his horror comedy Juan de los Muertos was released, but outside of his homeland all his achievements end with a number of horror almanacs, in which he worked side by side with the real masters of the genre. For example, he directed individual novellas in Nightmare Cinema, 50 States of Fright, Satanic Hispanics and ABCs of Death 2. The Inheritance is his first solo feature-length project, and unfortunately, he won't build an impressive resume on such mediocre films.